Getting all around my room, my world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the video here in the World of Juice channel, and welcome back to another episode of the New England Patriots 10-year dynasty on Madden 25. It is episode number 10, year number 10. We have finally reached the finale of the Patriots dynasty. We've won plenty of championships in this series. We've won 3 out of 4. 3 championships out of 4 years. That is pretty much the definition of a dynasty. So we have completed the goal. Check it off. We are successful. We have brought the New England Patriots back to prominence where they should have been all of these years since Tom Brady has retired. But we finally did it. And now we have one more year to try and get a 4th championship and make sure that Drake May is firmly established as the 2nd greatest quarterback of all time, even ahead of Patrick Mahomes. Can we do it? I guess we'll find out. If you go and enjoy, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club, and let's go wrap up this 10-year dynasty the only way we know how here in New England, with championships. So we've arrived at the week 1 of the 10th season. It is time. This is one final look at what the roster is before we get into simulation here. We were able to keep Darrell Bone around, and I'm happy about that because he's been a godsend at running back. He's got a nice mix of speed and power. I mean, look at that, 91 speed, 93 excel, along with 94 trucking and 97 stiff arm. It's rare that you find a running back that has that combination, at least an auto-generated running back, that has that kind of combination. Usually they lean one way or the other in terms of either they're really, really powerful, but they've got like sub 85, 86 speed, or they've got really fast speed, but they can't truck anybody or they can't stiff arm anybody. Now, he's not very elusive in terms of like his juke move's pretty low and his spin move's pretty low, but he'll run through you pretty easily. He's also 5'11", 235, so he's a well-built running back, and he's very, very good. He's an X-Factor. He's a 93 overall. He's going to get even better this season. I'd say he's probably going to get up to like a 95, 96, maybe. That's probably stretching a little bit at the end of the season. But Drake May, the GOAT, the best. We've really turned him into a stud, haven't we? I mean, he's been here his entire career. We locked him up very early on to get him all the way to the end of this series so we didn't have to worry about it. And look at these accuracies. I mean, he's really developed into one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the NFL. He doesn't have a great arm, but he has a good enough arm to get the job done. And the rest of the offense is really, really good. The offensive line's solid. We've had to make some adjustments here and there on the offensive line, but for the most part, we have kept the same guys around for most of the series. And then we've got a great tight end in Grant Kane. We've got great wide receivers. We've got a really, really good defense with some studs like Kareem Biddle, who's been here since the beginning. Well, since we drafted him, basically since the beginning. He was in the first draft, I think. So he's a stud. He's an absolute stud. He's the next great Patriot linebacker. Gerard Mayo, Dante Hightower, and now Kareem Biddle. He's just a fantastic, and I could go back even further, like Teddy Bruschi and stuff, but just a fantastic player. We've got John Hess, who I think had normal development when we got him, and then has turned himself into an X-Factor player, so he's a fantastic player. Davis is great. Moss is pretty good. The cornerback room is great. The safeties are fantastic. We got Ali in the last episode in the offseason by trading for him. And he's a stud. I don't even know how good he's going to be, but he's an X-Factor 84 overall. He's going to be probably pretty good. So that's what this team looks like. Obviously, we still are in the whatchamacallit playbooks, the Kansas City playbook. So I will just make sure we've got the right offensive scheme going for us, and we'll make sure that we've got the right defensive scheme going, which we do. So we're going to keep running Kansas City offense, Baltimore defense. It seems to be working out pretty well for us since we won 3 out of 4 championships. And we are going to simulate. I don't think this episode is going to take too long because we're not doing any offseason or anything like that. So it's basically just simulate the season and go from there. We will cut to halfway point of the season like we have been doing all year or all series. But there's not going to be any contract negotiations. We can take a look and see who we would have had to re-sign if we were to go even further, but there's not going to be any contract negotiations, no worrying about who we're going to draft in the draft class or anything like that. So we can kind of just take it easy and kind of just see where the chips fall for this 10th season. So I will see you guys at the midseason point of year 10. Okay, so we have made it to around the halfway point. We're at week 9 this time, and we are currently sitting at a record of 4-3. Bone is second in the league in rushing. We're not having the greatest of seasons so far, but I think we can turn things around. Buffalo's actually struggling pretty heavily. Ravens, Steelers, Bengals, all pretty good. The Jets are pretty good. Raiders and Chiefs are pretty good. Colts and Jaguars. So there's a lot of teams in this kind of really, really good area so far halfway through the year. I think we can get through it. And if we were to have to go another season, we would have to try to figure out how to get back John Hess, Darrell Bone. Obviously, paying a running back $100 million is crazy. Byron Ali would need a new contract. He wants over $130 million. Dalton Callaway needs a new contract, who's just a backup tight end. Jonathan Beal, Richard Ash, Christian Gonzalez, I was going to say Gonzalez, Paul Green. There's a lot of our core people that need new contracts. Good thing for us, we don't care. That is not my job. We do not care. We are not worrying about those guys. They will play on the last year of their deal and have to like it because we are not paying them any money. That is for sure. We're not getting them paid. And Gerard Mayo has jumped to the number 3 head coach on the legacy leaderboard. Andy Reid, John Madden, and then the big dog, Gerard Mayo. I'm expecting him to... It's probably going to be... I don't even think another Super Bowl would have him pass John Madden at 20,000. That's probably a little bit too hard to get. That's probably too big of a gap. But he's 3rd on the all-time leaderboard. Is very awesome. And then obviously, if we go to quarterback, we've got Drake May, who's getting close. He's top 15. He's number 11 right now. If he can have another Super Bowl, he'd certainly catapult himself maybe even into the top 10. I don't know how much they... well, certainly into the top 10 because he's right behind Bryce Young. So he'd certainly be over 15,000, I would think. I don't know how much they add for Super Bowls and stuff like that. Running backs, Bone is top 10, but he hasn't been in the league very long, so he's got a long way to go before he gets to Isaiah Pacheco. Wide receivers, we've got Jamar Chase at the top. Any of our former receivers? There's Chris Olave down here at number 15, it looks like. Yep, Chris Olave's at 15. He's been on the team for a long time. Keon Coleman was on our team for a little bit. He's at number 19. Although he wasn't on our team for any of the championships, unfortunately. I don't think we have anybody. None of these guys were on our team, I don't think. Tight end, we didn't have Kyle Pitts. We didn't have Freiermuth. We didn't have Kelsey. We do have Greg Kane, who's at number 6. Look at that. That's pretty awesome. Offensive line. Nobody at the top, unfortunately. A lot of the good offensive linemen have already established themselves. Max Crosby leads defensive ends. That's kind of weird. And then you got Middlebrooks. 10 yearly awards. He must be winning defensive player every single year or something because he should not be at 19,000 already, but he is. I don't think Middlebrooks is one of our guys. I think he just was always a Panther. There's John Hess, though. That's pretty awesome. Any of our other guys that we had to lose? There probably could be. I just don't remember some of their names. That's probably more like it. We've got anybody here in D-tackle? Not really. Other defensive end side. I mean, there's some good names on here. Linebackers. I would assume Kareem Biddle's at the top of the middle linebacker. He is. He's top 5. He's number 4 on the list. He's one of the 4 best linebackers in the game. Let's go, baby. That's what I'm talking about. What a stud. Gonzalez has jumped to top 5. Good for him. And with another championship, he could jump even further. You never know. Safeties. Yada, yada, yada. All right, so the legacy leaderboard's looking pretty good. It's in favor of some Patriot players, that's for sure. But is there any sort of scouting that we need to take care of? Probably not, because obviously we're not going to be doing the draft or anything. But I guess we could take a little bit of a look, a little bit of a looky-loo at some scouting as we win a bunch of games, hopefully. Can we beat the Buccaneers? Yes, we can. Only by a single point, but we do beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We take on the Carolina Panthers, and we beat them. That's a little bit more of a convincing victory. Love to see that. Get some big upgrade points for some of the good boys. There we go. All right. So we are taking on a good Colts team. We have jumped from the number 9 seed to the number 3 seed. You love to see that. If we beat the Colts, they're the 1 seed right now. So if we beat the Colts, we could really help ourselves. It's going to be a tough game, obviously, because they're the number 1 seed. What can we do? Big W, 42-28. My God, okay, maybe we are the GOAT. We are the GOAT team this year. do a little bit extra upgrading, and we can take a look at the draft class. It's not like we're going to draft anybody, obviously, but we can do a little focus player action. Is there any top players in this? There's a D-tack. Ooh, it's a defensive top of the class. That is very intriguing. I do like seeing a defensive top class. I might do this middle linebacker. I might do this D-tackle, and I'm kind of curious about this guy too. Just because. It's not going to matter. Those guys will never, ever be drafted. But that is going to do it for this little portion. We will go to the end of the season and hopefully continue to ride the hot hand and make the playoffs as the #1 seed. Is that possible? Or the #2 seed behind the Steelers right now? I guess it is possible if the Steelers slip up. I don't know if they will, though. We finish up the season, and we actually lost one more game, so we went 13-4. But we do, in fact, lock up the #1 seed, which is amazing. It seems like, the Steelers actually slipped up a lot. The Ravens picked up the slack a little bit, but we were able to hold them off and hold on to that #1 seed. And, it looks like Drake May led the league in yards and touchdowns. My guy is goated. That is very, very good. And we've got ourselves, just a phenomenal season from Drake May. Just a phenomenal season from Drake May. 4,700 yards, 52 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Are you kidding me? And still over 74%, still a 74% completion percentage. That is just, it's just unreal. That is just actually unreal. That's a great season. It's a fantastic. That might even be MVP. Bone had a fantastic year as well. 1,100 yards, 9 touchdowns. Greg Kane did very, very well. Did I say Grant Kane at the beginning? I might have said Grant Kane at the beginning. Greg Kane is his actual name. He had a great year. Jaron Holloway put up 17 touchdowns, so he seemed to be the big-time red zone threat for Drake May. He put up 52 touchdowns. You got to throw to somebody. Langford had a good year, very close to 1,000 yards. Spencer Gary had a good year, one of the guys we got last episode in the offseason. He also had a very, very solid year. And then Bone through the air had a pretty good year. So, Drake May was spreading the wealth. He was spreading the wealth. Defensively, Biddle had a solid season, as you would expect, because he's the greatest linebacker of all time. Nick Bolton is weird. I think he's a sub linebacker because he always comes up with like second or third in tackles, even though we switched to a 4-3 and he's the backup. But I like Nick Bolton, so I'm glad that he's getting tackles. It's just weird that he's always up at the top. Cliff Van Buren, 74, 68 for Hess. Cedric Davis had 16 tackles for loss, 14 for Hess, 13 for Luke Moss. Ali came in and had 9. Sack leader was John Hess with 18.5. My guy is goated on them sticks. 11.5 for Luke Moss, 10.5 for Cedric Davis, 6.5 for Ali. A lot of interceptions. That's what the Baltimore playbook does. It gets you a lot of interceptions for different people. So some good numbers there as well. And the boys be buoyant. We get a big time 13-win season. We take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Can we go to the AFC title game? Of course we can. We beat the Bengals, and we head to the AFC Championship for the 5th time in 4 seasons, or the 5th time in 5 years, right? Yeah. The 5th time in a row, but it would be the 4th championship. If we were to win a Super Bowl, it would be the 4th title out of 5 years. That's what it would be. Because no. We're 3. No, I got that all wrong. We're 3 out of 4 right now. So it would be 3 out of 4 Super Bowls. So that would be our 5th Super Bowl. So it would be 4 out of 5. It is. I am right. I had that right. Yeah, okay. I was second-guessing myself. I know what I'm talking about. I'm smart. But we are going to jump in like we always do with the AFC Championship and see if we can handle the Colts at Gillette Stadium, Foxborough, January. Probably going to be cold. Certainly going to be cold. I don't know if there's going to be snow on the ground. There could be. But let's go see if Drake May lives up to all of that hype he's built up this year. It is the AFC Championship, and unfortunately it's not a snow game here in the AFC title game here in Foxborough, Massachusetts, but it is cold, and we are battling the Indianapolis Colts. There is historical precedent with this game and this matchup because obviously Colts and Patriots go back a long way with Peyton Manning versus Tom Brady, Andrew Luck versus Tom Brady. Very established playoff history with these two organizations. Luckily, the Patriots came out on top more than not. for my case. But it is going to be another Patriot victory, 28-3. There's no way we can blow it. 31-3, the New England Patriots are your AFC Conference champions and are headed to the Super Bowl to try to win our 4th championship in 5 seasons. Can it happen? Sure, it can happen. Will it happen? I have no idea. 4 touchdowns and 375 yards for the MVP, Drake May, because he's the GOATed quarterback of all time. Patrick Mahomes, who? That's right, Drake May. Greatest quarterback to ever live. And we will go to the bowl. Who will we play? I have absolutely no idea. It could be it literally could be any team. I don't know. It'll be, oh my God. Speaking of historical playoff rivals, maybe the biggest playoff rival in the NFC side of things, the team that knocked it, well, that's probably the Giants. I shouldn't say that. One of the more recent ones. The team that knocked us out of the Super Bowl in 2018? I think it was 2018. 2017 season, right? 2018 game, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. Nick Foles, the Philly special, the whole deal. I still hate Nick Foles for that, and I'll never forgive him. But it's the Eagles, it's the Patriots, it's the Super Bowl, it's a rematch, and this time it's gonna be us. It's gonna be me. The Super Bowl of all Super Bowls. The final game of this entire series comes down to this. Eagles, Patriots in Miami, Hard Rock, 14-7. Can Drake May end his career with a championship? I mean, he's not ending his career, but it's the end of the series, so basically it is the end of his career. We lead 17-14, 23-14. Got the ball back again. We give it back to them. We're into the 4th quarter. Come on, big dogs. 23-17. Uh-oh. Eagles making a push. 24-23. It is 4th down and 2. Down by a singular point. Do we hand the ball to Darryl Bone? As the 2-minute warning comes, gives us a chance to rethink our decision. Do we hand the ball to Darryl Bone and let him bone the Philadelphia Eagle defense? Maybe that's the right idea, but I think I'm going to go pass. The mesh play is my go-to play. It's always worked. There's never been a moment where it hasn't worked, and it's Holloway with the touch or with the 1st down catch. Look at that. I knew I could count on the boys. And look at us. 1:23 to go in the game, and we are driving. Eagles have used all their timeouts. It's 1st down and 10 from the 17-yard line, and we're going to try to take even more time off this clock. I had to completely change directions there because the side that I was going to run to was not open. But I'd like to take as much time as possible off before we win this game. And that's going to be Greg Kane. A little bit behind him. But he catches it for a couple yards to keep the clock moving. And now I'm going to switch this to a run, so just in case I have to kick the field goal, I will line it up a little bit better. And we will kick the field goal, but we do take the clock down pretty good. 31-yard field goal. Lined it up as good as I could get it. And why do I have... Hold on. Why do I have that switched? All right, so it's locked for this game. Classic Madden. I don't know why it's switched. I've had it on multimeter for a long time now. I don't know why it's switched back to the other one, but whatever. We are ready to go with this kick meter, and I will take this down to a long time. It shouldn't be that big of a deal, he says. And they can't freeze me because they don't have any timeouts, so... We will drain this clock to as far as possible and then hopefully win this freaking football game and win our 4th Super Bowl. So I got to get ready here, so. All right. Actually, I might just call the timeout so I don't have to worry. Let's just call the timeout. We got 3 of them. 5, 4, 3, 2, timeout called. All right. So now I can breathe. I can get the job done. I don't have to worry about trying to kick it with the play clock going down. So let's do this. For the Super Bowl. And I got it. I got it perfect. Right down the middle. And it's 26-24 with 14 seconds remaining. 13 seconds remaining. Jalen Hurts still the quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles, even 10 years deep. They've got about one play, maybe two plays if they go super quick to the sideline. Hurts. He scrambles. He's going to make it his one play to the end. And it's a knockdown. Cade York is their kicker, but they're pretty much out of field goal now. They have to go for a touchdown because Jalen took so much time making that play go all the way to the deep down the field. So we're going to play back. We're going to give cushion, and we are going to hope that somebody makes a play on Jalen Hurts, and it might be John Hess. John Hess to win the Super Bowl, and the New England Patriots are Super Bowl champions for the 4th time in 5 seasons. 26-25. Drake May led a comeback in the 4th quarter to get the job done. Point at those ring fingers, baby. And here comes the greatest animation. Didn't even get the Gatorade splash. That's crazy. Oh, the Patriots. Super Bowl champions, 4 out of 5. And that man right there is the God. He's the GOAT. He's the greatest. And NBA 2K21 is installed. Don't worry about that. It's not for a video or anything. I'm just testing something out. And Drake May is a Super Bowl champion again. He might even be MVP of the league. He very well could be the MVP of the actual NFL. I think he won Offensive Player of the Year from what I saw from those things on the side of the menu, the home screen. Another Super Bowl for the good guys. Man, it feels good. When the Patriots win, everybody's happy. Let's just be real. When the Patriots are winning, the whole world is in a correct alignment. So let's move to the season recap, and we can actually see how this season ended up. And then we can recap everything else. We can kind of reminisce. So let's do the one final upgrade for the practice squad guys. All right, there we go. They've been fully upgraded. Let's take a look at the season recap. What do we got here? We've got Drake May winning the Super Bowl MVP. He also wins the actual MVP. John Hess wins Defensive Player of the Year, which I love to see. Gerard Mayo also won Coach of the Year. We win our 10th championship in team history, which means obviously we won 4 in this series because the Patriots already had 6 with Brady. So, boom. Quick math. Easy math. Let's go all the way back down to the very beginning of this season, or this series. So in year number 1, it was the Jaguars. Year number 2, it was the Cowboys. Year 3, it was the Chiefs. Year 4, it was the Steelers. Year 5, it was the Panthers. Year 6, it was us. That was our first year we got our championship, and Drake May got the Super Bowl MVP. Year 7, it was us again. We went back-to-back with Chris Olave getting Super Bowl MVP. And Drake May winning his second MVP of, no, his first MVP of it. I thought he won it this year too, but it's his first MVP of his career. Then in year 8, we lose to the Cowboys, unfortunately, against John Coleman. Then in year 9, we got it again with Drake May getting another MVP and another Super Bowl. And then obviously the year 10, we get it with Drake May and the Patriots. So that is your 10 years of Patriot Dynasty. We have rebuilt the squad. I don't know how much longer they can keep together because they've got no money, but this is our final team. I mean, it's just phenomenal numbers if we're being totally honest. These numbers are fantastic. These players are fantastic. I mean, I didn't even talk about some of these offensive linemen like Shaquem Lauderdale. I think it's Lauderdale, actually. Shaquem Lauderdale kind of just went under the radar. Stud. I think we brought him in on one of the trades when we traded away one of our other guards. He's a stud. He's fantastic. And then Paul Green, I think is his name, right? It's Paul Green, who we turned into a left tackle. He's a stud. He's been here for a long time. We drafted him like in the first draft, and he never really started until a couple years ago when we lost our left tackle. He's fantastic. Then we've got maybe the most important player of this entire offensive line is Morris Haas. I mean, he came out and was freaking amazing. I mean, look at these pass block numbers. The pass blocking's great, except for his pass block power. He's not super strong, though. But he's a stud. He's a stud. He's a great player. He's very, very good. We also have a center who's good. We even had a better center than Brandon Montgomery, but then he left, and we got Brandon Montgomery, who came in and was fantastic. Well, I think he was a draft pick of ours also. So offensive line in general was just really, really solid the whole way around. Wide receivers were really, really good, especially the guy that we drafted, Eric Langford, 6'1", very good player. Nothing too special. He doesn't do anything like, he doesn't do, he has 98 spec catch. I didn't see that. I was going to say he doesn't do like one thing spectacular, which is ironic, but he's a very well-rounded receiver. He's a very good receiver. He's not a number one, but he is a very good receiver. And then defensively, I've gushed enough about Kareem Biddle. I've gushed enough about John Hess. They're both fantastic. I mean, John Hess just won the Defensive Player of the Year. He's got 99 power moves, that in 99 hit power and 99 pursuit. If he was a little bit faster, you could stand him up as a pass rusher. I mean, this is a dog right here. This is a great player. He's unbelievable. He's actually unbelievable. He's so good. And then obviously we got Biddle. We've got Ali, who's a fantastic player who didn't really get talked about much because he just got here, but he's a great player. He helped us contribute. He contributed to that Super Bowl championship. I mean, the whole team is fantastic. You couldn't ask for a better team. We won 4 championships in 5 seasons. We've had Anthony Bennett for the entire series, I think. Pretty much. He's got 98 with the boost. He's got 98 man coverage. I mean, he's just a phenomenal player. And he's that tall corner, 6'1" corner with decent 89 speed. I wish that speed was a little bit higher, but the 94 acceleration helps out. He's a great player. They're all great players. Everybody on this team is a great player. So that is going to do it for this series. The 10-year dynasty has officially ended. It is a little sad. Career stats, obviously, these are all simulated stats for Drake May because he started as a rookie. So 41,000 yards in his career, 367 touchdowns, 92 interceptions, and a 69% completion percentage. Nice. That's really phenomenal numbers for Drake May. Darrell Bone, 5,000 yards, 52 touchdowns. We had Greg Kane actually be the leading receiver because we are in Kansas City playbook. Then you got Eric Langford. You got Spencer Gary next up. All right, so everybody's doing really, really well on that. I'm expecting Kareem Biddle to have crazy tackles. Yep, 1,000 tackles for Kareem Biddle is just unreal. 9 seasons, he got 1,000 tackles. Also had 20 sacks. Gonzalez was next. Bennett was then after. Tackle for loss leader is John Hess. No surprise there. Sack leader is John Hess. No surprise there. With 62. Cedric Davis had a good amount. Biddle had 20 sacks. Interception leader is Gonzalez. Not super shocked about that. He's been here the entire time, and he's a stud. And then Biddle actually comes up next with 25 interceptions. That's kind of crazy. You'd think that a couple corners would be up there, but, I mean, Kareem Biddle is sitting in the middle of that defensive line, or the middle of the defensive part of the field. A lot of people throw it right to him. He gets a lot of picks. So that is our career stats for some of the guys that were here the entire time. And Kareem Biddle getting 1,000 tackles is amazing. But that is going to do it. That is going to do it for the Patriots 10-year series. Maybe I come back and do a different team in a couple months. Maybe when the Madden cycle starts to decline. That's usually when I break out the 10-year series again. But it's always good to start I say start a Madden cycle. We've been in the Madden cycle for about 3 months now, but 2 months, whatever it is. But this is good. We get the Patriots done. We win them 4 championships, 4 more championships, and I feel good about myself because they're my favorite team. So it's nice to see them win when in real life they are straight garbage. So, except for Drake May. Drake May in real life is pretty good, it seems. But we will find out how the Patriots do in real life as we move forward. But at least we know in this 10-year dynasty, they are back to where they should have been a long time ago. If you enjoyed the video and you enjoyed the series, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I truly appreciate it. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.